Well, with me now, the Dons' first team coach, Darius Charles, imagining how you are, of course, as well, being very thorough about how you go about every aspect of the job, yeah?
Yeah, no, it's exciting, transitioning even more so over to the backroom staff side. So again, progressing in my career and things I want to do after hanging my boots up. But it's been an enjoyable experience so far.
But of course, you came back here initially to do the mentoring role. You're doing your UEFA badges as well now. You'll be doing that in the summer year. So this really is the stepping stone into coaching for you now, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with regards to mentoring, it never stops for me. I think people can kind of box mentoring into looking a particular type of a way, but essentially mentoring is someone who provides good counsel, new perspective, experience, and advice as and when asked for, and that doesn't change regardless of whether I'm here in a playing capacity, coaching capacity, or player coach capacity. So it's just, as I say, it's time for me to always continue learning, but the way I impact and influence may look different.
So it's not the end of you in terms of your playing career yet. You've not played your last game for Wimbledon just yet, you feel?
I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say that. What I would say is, right here, right now, I'm just trying to get myself in the best possible shape and see where that leads, in the near future. Because my main emphasis is on being in good health. So as far as playing another game or not, I couldn't say, and that's not necessarily where my focus and energy is right now.
Absolutely, I mean, of course, I remember seeing you come out of this very room having had the chat with Robbo about being a first team coach, big smile on your face, so you've got that really good working relationship with Robbo, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, and like anything, respected Robbo in the conversations we had when I was with my previous time at the club, and then admired the work he'd done from afar while I was at Wickham, and he was doing an excellent job here. And then coming back here and working together a bit closer, getting used to each other, learning each other, finding not only just the right moments but the right way to communicate with each other is really being key in terms of building that relationship.
In terms of the dynamic now with all the coaches that we've got here, how does your sort of role on a day-to-day basis now fit in with that?
I'm probably more privy to information I wouldn't be as a player per se, which is really helpful in terms of the way I speak and address the boys, because now I know and understand even more so the inner workings of what the message is. So I'm not just reiterating the message through the dressing room. I understand where that message has come from and why it wants to be spread in this environment. So again, for my understanding, it's been really useful.
And that's really key, that role that Robbo was talking about, between the link between yourself and the players still as a coach, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, because I mean, I'm a player at heart, and I haven't, they never teach athletes how to retire from playing, and most players probably never ever want to stop playing. It's just that, time is something that we're yet to be able to defeat. So it is really, really valuable for me that I can, get the information from both parties, from the dressing room and from staff, and bring both together so we can have there can be a cohesion between both and a clarity moving forward.
So, of course, Burton, the opponents this weekend, another one of your previous clubs as well. They've been up to the Championship, back in League One at the moment as well. You've got so much experience around this level of football. Two kind of different clubs in a way, we're fan owned, but there are kind of similarities there between the two of them?
Yeah, definitely. Both, relatively small teams, but with a real, grounding and real, running a real kind of ethical way, with a lot of morals and values. The chairman there is a brilliant man, who I enjoy, sharing conversations with and working alongside at times. So both two really, really brilliant clubs, and it'll be a good game this weekend, one we're really looking forward to.
Just before Christmas, of course, as well, we went to Wickham. You got a great reception going back there as well, and they're leading the way in League One at the moment.
Yeah, doing really well. I'm not surprised, if I'm honest. Obviously, not too long coming out of that environment and understanding the inner workings again of that environment, and it being a brilliantly run club with, you know, a strategy and people who can implement and execute on that strategy. And it was really lovely, obviously, to, you know, to get the reception I did at Wickham. But again, I always go somewhere with my main focus being adding value, and essentially you know, what I was afforded there at the time is just part and parcel of the value I added. So it's, you know, it's one hand washes the other, and I'm grateful that I've been able to make that club and their fans feel that way about me.
Absolutely. Focusing on ourselves as well at the moment, of course, Dan Shoker came into the side in midweek, did it tremendously well. I suppose for yourself in your role as well, you're looking to, as you're talking about mentoring and encouraging him now with pushing on from that, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's extremely important for me that, as someone who's got experience in the game, that I can now impart my wisdom and help teach someone like Choco the tools that will help him go on and have, you know, the career that his talent, you know, asks for. And he came in and done a brilliant job, you know, keeping a clean sheet, which is, I believe, the first time we've done consecutively, putting in a great performance, and also, you know, his growth in the game. And he, you know, we spoke about things that he wanted to do in that game, which he executed on, which is brilliant. And now it's just a continued conversation with himself and the other centre halves about, you know, how we get better as a defensive unit, but, you know, centre half family as such, just as the GKs have their, you know, unit, centre halves will, and fullbacks and wingers do. So yeah, it's really important as the backbone of the team that, you know, we set an example.
And another member of that, of course, as well, who's on the way back to full fitness, just signed a new 2-year deal, Paul Callan-By. You must know him from your first time here when he was coming through the academy. He's another good prospect, yeah?
PK's brilliant. PK has, he's wise beyond his years. He has a great voice. He's a thinker. He's logical and rational, which is brilliant, which are things I definitely didn't have at his age. So now, for him coming back to fitness, you know, it'd be a case of staking a claim to get in the team, and then, you know, keeping his shirt and hoping that those performances lead to, you know, Wimbledon doing better and himself doing better moving forward.
On the subject of which as well, I think I spotted him on Instagram yesterday doing a bit of boxing. He said that you've been encouraging him, hitting the bag a little bit, yeah?
I mean, you know, boxing is something I enjoy, and every Friday morning I get myself down to the park about 6:30 a.m. and I do boxing sessions with my coach Brendan, and it's brilliant for me because it, you know, it acts as a release, it acts as meditation, it acts as an opportunity, you know, to get fit, and it's competitive. I'm very, very competitive, so it allows me to, while I'm not playing, while I'm not out there training, you know, release some of that, competitiveness, so to speak. And I'm glad that, you know, I'm rubbing off in a good way on the boys, definitely.
I saw as well, I mean, in the past, I know you've spoken about cold showers and that effect of how that can help, and I've seen that actually backed up now by Fraser Franks, another former AFC Wimbledon player, says he does that as well. But for yourself, you're kind of always learning all the time, you're always up here, you're learning different languages, you're looking to the next stages in life, yeah? Yeah,
definitely. It's extremely important that, for me, that I explore, you know, the boundaries of my abilities. I'm always happiest when I'm progressing or learning something new. I don't like to stand still, I don't like to stagnate. Sometimes it could be to my detriment because I'm trying to learn 1,000,001 things at the same time, and you know, you can get kind of caught up and miss one or two things in that time. But it's extremely important for me that I continue to, you know, grow and evolve, because I want to be better for myself, and for me to help and aid people more, I need to have gone to certain lengths and experienced certain things and have these new perspectives, so that the further I go, the bigger the depths of which that I can now influence and help people, you know, hopefully facilitating their growth.
So looking to the future here now, just to finish off, I mean, we've seen Brentford this week at their community stadium. You know, they're in the Premier League now, they're entertaining Man United the other night as well. You started out there as a young player, you're now starting out here as a young coach. Can you see the potential here to reach those heights one day for Wimbledon?
Well, listen, The club has a great history. The club is back at its, rightful home. It's in a great location. The club has what a lot of teams in the country don't have. And it's a great opportunity for this club to go who knows how far. And with people like Robbo and Bezo and Rob and James now and Andy, as well as G and Tom, with people like that at the helm, with their innovative and open-minded thinking, this club could go a long way. This club could go a long way, and it's just a case of supporters really understanding what's being done here for the longevity and the sustainability of the club, because we don't have the resources that other clubs do, and frankly speaking, football's about money, and the teams with the most money tend to do the best. And if we look at the league, we are pitting our wits against teams that are of Premier League stature, Portsmouth, Sunderland, Ipswich, Wigan, Bolton, and those Charlton, and these are just the teams I remember off my head. Not, let alone the other teams in this league that are huge clubs with big budgets. So, like I said, this club could go a long way if everyone associated with the club, understand what's happening right here, right now, get behind that idea and push in one direction.